Good evening and beyond the new, my fond, fair friends, family, and subscribers. This is your humble narrator, Dioma Days Rouge, here to bring you, well, part 6 of What If Naruto Had S.L.D&D.S. Oh, yes, I didn't forget. And I imagine quite a few of you will be surprised. You know, two in one day. It's unlike me, but I got the itch and I needed to scratch it, so I figured I might as well go full throttle. Now, where we last left off, Naruto had really kind of spilled his heart out to Kakashi, and unintentionally Hinata and Shikamaru. They now understand him a bit more, and, well, Kakashi is trying his best to work alongside him, or rather, I should say, be there for him. It's been a couple of days, and they've gotten better, they've trained, they've formed, well, combinations, if you will. Specialized routines and stratagems to help change the flow, way, and shape of battle all around them. Oh, the amount of fun I'm about to have. Now you see, the real fun part is about to begin. For now we'll say, set up a month. In 1 month's time, the Chunin exams will begin. Naruto and company have to train like crazy in preparation. Shikamaru essentially studying and working, while Naruto is doing what he does best. And what does Naruto do best? Simple. He does whatever he wants. Whether it's having fun or actually knuckling down and training hard. He'll do a mixture of it all. While Hina's just gonna use this time to get closer to her Naruto. Well, come on, we all know this. Like any chance she can get, she's gonna take to get closer to Naruto. Especially now that he's been around her to a point to where she's no longer as nervous. Oh yes, that's truly terrifying. A young Hinata that's less nervous around her Naruto. As time progresses, and, well, it certainly does, eventually, Naruto's Team 7 comes across the team of Sasuke, Ino, and Sakura. As Naruto automatically gets an itch and mild irritation upon seeing Sasuke. And Sasuke gets a itch and mild irritation upon seeing Naruto. As people could probably visibly see the sparks flying between them. Hello, Sasuke. Naruto. What are you doing here? It's the training grounds. We're allowed to go where we please. Fair point. Fair point. So, are you here to train or are you here to gawk at people who are actually going to? I'm here to work. And what about you? Still useless? Oh, far from it. Far, far from it, my compatriot, I guess I could call you. Or shall I just call you Emo? Excuse me? Oh, you heard me. You heard me dead on. And how am I that? Well, let's see here. Dark clothing, dark hair, brooding attitude. Constantly the whole I'm the loner. Do you know anything about me? I know enough, Mr. Uchiha. The real question is, do you know anything about me? And why would I care to know anything about you? You might not. But let me tell you this. If you think the Uchihas were dealt a bad hand, if you ever get the chance, look into the Uzumakis. You'll see some real fun stuff then. As Sasuke kind of takes it with a grain of salt. Just going, whatever. We gotta do this or what? As Naruto looks towards his friends, stating, I don't know, what do you guys think? You up for some team-on-team combat? And Shikamaru just says, what a pain. But fine, Naruto, I'm down with anything. As Hinata just automatically strikes a combat pose, seeing Sakura on the other side, realizing, yeah, that's kind of her rival. Because she knows about the crush Naruto had. Oh, does she know about the crush she had on poor Sakura. And I feel sorry for her. Oh, do I feel so sorry for her. Because, yeah, this ain't gonna end well if she has her way about it. And Ino, Sakura, and Sasuke, they are... yeah, they're ready to rock. As Naruto gets into a battle position, calling forth, well, you know, his long sword and lantern shield. As Sasuke goes, what the hell? Okay. As he makes a clone of himself and transforms it into a weapon as well. He goes, oh, this ought to be interesting. As the two get ready, as the two are sizing each other up. Ino on the other side, basically they're forming their own lines as Naruto, Hinata, and Shikamaru do the same. And right before anyone can do anything, Sasuke heads off, jumping into the fray, but as soon as he does, Naruto holds out his sword and launches a beam of ice, stating, Ray of Frost. My apologies, almost forgot it there. Ray of Frost. As well as I said, the blue beam of energy surges through his sword and goes straight out towards him. Towards poor Sasuke, as Sasuke says, you're gonna have to do better than that, Naruto! And proceeds to throw a bunch of shuriken in response to it, attempting to dodge the ray. However, while he may succeed in dodging the ray, he has failed in looking below him, because as soon as he lands, he is caught in a shadow possession jutsu, set up by Shikamaru, as Hinata rushes him, laying in 2-palm, 4-palm, 6-palm, just nailing him down. As Sakura tries to rush in, Naruto counters, with a solid kick, tripping her up, knee right into the gut, followed by a solid flip over onto the ground. As then, Ino has had enough time and prep to soul possession jutsu, or soul transfer jutsu, as, yeah, she swaps out her soul with Naruto's, as soon as she does, oh, does everybody instantly regret it. Because while Naruto is going, what's going on, Ino is freaking the hell out and is in Naruto's body on her knees, or rather making Naruto on his knees as she begins to scream through him at the sheer amount of terror she is currently facing as the nine-tailed fox demon looks at her inside his body as it begins to roar, prepared to strike and break her. And I said break. Proceeds to try and strike and destroy her. She cancels it, slingshotting her straight back to Naruto, swapping them where he's back in his body and she is a terrified mess in hers. As Naruto goes, what the hell was that? As the trials begin to get called off as Hinata and Sakura are ready to go head to head with each other. Yeah, Ino is crying. And not just any crying, we're talking ugly crying. Like she was scared. She was scared for her life as she begins to look at Naruto and just berate him. Freak, demon, monster. What the hell are you? As Naruto just sits there and says, or rather stands there and says, I'm all those things. I'm the Jinchuriki of the leaf. And he walks off, sheathing his sword and losing any interest in fighting for that day. As Sasuke has to take a breather going, what the hell was that? As Hinata quickly rushes in behind Naruto, and Shikamaru just says, what a drag, and follows in suit. Oh, yes. As things progress, Naruto that day is still disturbed. And you may ask why. He should be used to it. Well, yes. He is somewhat used to it, but at the same point in time, just because you're used to getting cut doesn't mean you don't flinch whenever someone drops more salt into the wound. It still hurts. And for Naruto, it's a dull pain, as he just wants to be left alone, and Hinata and Shikamaru are more than willing to leave him alone, at least for the time being, as he heads home. But not to that little ramshackle apartment. No. He heads to a different place, a different home. The home of Kakashi Sensei. Oh yes. Kakashi basically adopted him somewhat formally. And since he did that, why would he be living there when he could be living with him? And Naruto naturally agrees, just gets his own room, good meals, and some time to relax, and heck, even a chance to see Kakashi's face, as he tells them, yeah, you wouldn't believe me if I told you, and no, I'm not going to tell you, nor describe it. You're not. Nope, not in the slightest. He wants to hide his face, let him hide his face. It's his choice, his prerogative. Really? Yep, I ain't gonna say nothing about it. It's like it's his choice. Well, he's home, relaxing, sitting down, gets himself a snack, and just. That sucked. And there I was thinking today was gonna be fantastic. Now I just want it to be over with. As all of a sudden, right when he's pouring his milk into his cereal, time freezes. The cereal, the carton, everything stuck in a similar motion. And he goes, ah, shit. As he begins to look around, going, what is it now? As he explores, because he has no immediate answer, only dungeon detected, dungeon detected, dungeon detected. Do you wish to delve? Well, where is the damn thing? As he gets a map, a three-dimensional one, appearing in front of him. He looks through it and says, that's strange. There are several dungeons around here, yet this is the first time it's activated. Odd. As he goes towards the one closest to him at the old school, right at the swing he used to swing on, the tree holding it. Dungeon level 3. Dire Wolf Den. Do you wish to delve? It's level 3. I wouldn't get much experience from that. Let's see what the other two are, in case I don't get a chance to unfreeze. To refreeze afterwards. As he walks over to another one, which is at the base of the mountain, with the, well, leaders' skulls carved into it. The former Hokage's faces carved into it. As he looks in there, Lair of thy Chimera, level 10. Do you wish to delve? Like, no, I'm just level 5. That's over double my capacity as it is. As then he goes to the Hokage's, well, palace, if you will. And upon getting there, level 18, Lair of the Dragon. Correction. Lair of the Black Dragon. Do you wish to delve? Hell no, to the no, as he immediately turns around and walks the fuck out. He goes, nope. I do not want to mess with that. As much as I would love to see the type of gear and everything else I would get from that thing, no. That is beyond high enough level. You know what? Dire wolves don't sound too bad to go chasing after today. I think I'll go towards them. As he heads all the way back to the schoolhouse and goes, yeah, dire wolves, please and thank you. Yes. As he draws his sword, readies his shield, and goes in. Except this doesn't seem like a dungeon. It's not like the first time, or technically the second. It's an open plain, an open forest. It's an open area as he goes, is this really a dungeon? Huh. Nice. It looks clean, refreshing. As he explores through the area, noticing several wolves. But anytime he would get close to them, they would feel his pressure, his power, and leave him be. For they know that he's too strong. They walk away. Not only that, but wolves in the natural wilds don't like fighting things that are big as they are. However, as he gets further and further in, he gets more and more ominous sensations flowing over him. More and more ominous, almost deadly, life-threatening tingles in his spine that are alerting him to something wanting to rip him apart. As he then begins to hear distant howling, running, twigs and limbs snapping under pressure. As he goes, As he readies his sword and his shield, ready to fend off anything that gets too close, as what appears is a very, very, very odd sight. A tiny little dire wolf. And I do mean a tiny little one. With big, almost happy looking eyes and wagging tail and poofy fur. And he goes, "What the hell?" As he gets closer to it, and it just goes, "Arr, arr, arr." Arr. Just giving him the classic puppy dog look, going, wagging the tail as it sits down, just thump, 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 thump. "Oh, well, aren't you adorable?" As he lowers his guard and gets closer to it, taking a knee, as all of a sudden, a larger, meaner, and a lot angrier dire wolf pops out of the forest, rushing him as he says, "Oh shit." Quickly raising his sword, Sentinel activates as it lunges at him, and he quickly jams his sword through its hide and through its intestines, straight out the back, and flipping it over, causing it to be knocked around, flipping it ass over tea kettle twice over, falling and whining in death as the tiny puppy that was there begins to fade, and then poof is gone as it goes. Naruto just thinks to himself, "What the hell?" As more and more wolves appear, going after him, lunging at him, going, "Alright, this is gonna be more fun." As he picks up his blade, doing a minor flourish. You know the one. The one that gets everyone psyched up when they see a swordsman. Spinning it around, wiping the blood off with nothing but the friction. You all know the ones. Oh yes, he does a minor little blade flourish as more of them charge. Sentinel Warcaster, Ray of Frost, impacts the Pride Wolf mid-air, freezing it solid as he turns to the side, allowing it to crash into other dire wolves, charging in at his rear, as he then counters, hacking and slashing at the maw of the other ones coming in, carving the heads in twine, as he's beginning to realize he's becoming outnumbered, as that's when he remembers, "Grace!" as he causes them all to slip and fall underneath him as he retreats backwards. As in, right whenever they're slipping, flailing around, he runs his blade through the mouth of through the open mouth of one, and through the other side. He says, "Flaming." What was the name of that thing again? God bless it. Oh, pardon me. As through the blade a bright yellow glow emits, as he says, "Burning hands," and a 15-foot cone of flame engulfs what's left of engulfs the pack of wolves that are there inside the grease, and whatever's left, the then ignited grease erupts, burning them again. As he pulls the blade out, doing another flourish to get the dried, burned blood off, as he goes, "Huh. Well, that was odd. Do they know magic of some sort? Illusions? Strange." As he begins to move forward, the further and further he gets into this dungeon, the harsher and damper and more dead it seems. As if almost all the life has been sucked out of it. As if it's completely hollow inside. No life, no sound, just death. As Naruto is beginning to get worried. What the hell is going on? And then he sees a clearing. And in this clearing, he sees a human female walk up out of the forest as he readies his blade, going, "Who are you?" She doesn't answer. As she takes up a pose, readying herself for combat, he goes, "I don't want to hurt you. I'm Naruto Uzumaki of the Hidden Leaf Village. What do you want? We don't have to fight." As, again, she doesn't listen. But she begins to change and alter. Her ears become more pointed as her skin starts to gray. What the hell? The hair along her scalp goes from a bright, luscious blonde to a very dark and faded, black. As her body and her bones begin to change shape, creaking, popping, and tearing away, as if something's coming loose, something's beginning to take its place, as she turns into a werewolf. As well, Naruto's going, "What the holy hell is that? What?" As suddenly time freezes again inside the dungeon as he goes, "Okay, what the holy hell is going on?" As he gets another notification appearing on his screen. Optional. Defeat. Random encounter. Lycanthrope. 6th level. Do you accept? As he goes, "Okay, I don't really have much of a choice." as he quickly accepts. As soon as he does that, time returns back to normal inside the dungeon, and he goes, "Oh crap," as it lunges at him, prepare to rip him apart. However, as it's having to cross grounds into his territory, Sentinel activates. As he holds out his weapon, his sword, right in front of him, as she impales herself onto it. However, this does not deter the beast, as it gets closer and closer, running itself through on his sword, getting right next to him, as it grabs him and begins to bite into him, or at least attempting to. Because as soon as it bites down, finding that his neck is not that vulnerable, that his neck is coated in the armor of the half plate, it quickly tosses him aside, and he goes, "What the holy hell?" As he scrambles to his feet, the monster now roaring in pain, as it takes up a fighting stance, like a trained warrior, and Naruto just goes, "Oh, this ain't good." He goes, "Alright, let's try this then." As he summons his weapon back to him, as soon as he does so, removing it from the creature back into his hands, the blood gushes and begins to pour from her body, as he's ready to take another stance, as it lunges again, attempting to slash, bite, clash, him barely able to hold his defensive guard up, as the claws, the teeth, and the sheer power bash against his shield, every now and then one of the spikes from the shield impaling her. But that means nothing to this creature, just means more blood is flying, more agony, more pain, more cause to be angry, as it begins to bury itself on top of him, trying to crush him with her sheer weight, as he tries to fend it off, realizing that his arm, it can't hold out much longer, as suddenly he hears a loud and very painful realizing, and then screaming in pain, as his arm has just been popped out of socket, and he does believe his forearm has been broken, just due to the sheer weight and power of these blows, as the lichen begins to bring down its fangs yet again. Naruto counters, stabbing it in the side of the neck with his blade, trying to fend it off, trying to make it fall back. But that doesn't do anything but make it pissed off even more, as it raises up, grabbing and tearing at the blade, ripping it out of its own neck, as Naruto just looks at it going, "What the holy hell are you?" As upon him seeing this creature mutilate itself, tossing the blade aside, he then sees it. The wound from earlier that he inflicted, the stab wound, has healed itself, has already clotted, and now the same is happening to the neck. It's healing itself. Oh God, what have I gotten myself into? As he prepares a defensive stance, the creature eyeballing him again, like a predator does its prey, as he calls on his sword one more time, getting ready for a fight that he doesn't think he can win, until again it lunges, and he uses the ring of spell storage and stabs the creature straight into the head, and he goes, "Burning Hands." Boom! Venting out a high-powered charge of flame straight through its body. And as soon as the creature begins to heal, he goes, "Burning Hands," through the blade again, burning it through the insides yet again. As he doesn't stop, he has 5 more of these stored up. No, he has 3 more of these stored up, as he lets them all loose, holding it down as he goes, "Burning Hands, Burning Hands, Burning Hands." venting sheer power of fire through this creature's body, incinerating it, burning its insides to a crisp as he pulls out the blade. It having a permanent scorched mark along the front half of it, to the point to where it's even warped as he goes, damn it. As soon as he lets it drop, the blade shatters. Crap. Well, that's 50 gold down the drain. And then he realizes his arm is still messed up as the adrenaline from the fight has worn off. The pain in his body begins to resurge. He moves forward and reaches into his pouch, pulling out a health potion and drinking it. And the first time he's ever tasted it, he feels the urge to gag and vomit. Oh, tastes like cough syrup. Oh, this sucks. As his whole body begins to tremble and ache. But as he drank a few drops of it, a mere swallow, his arm begins to feel immensely better. He goes, I guess this works. As he begins to drink more and more until the bottle is empty. And as he does, he feels the wound stitching itself back together, but only lightly. Only enough to get him through. His arm is still heavily damaged. As he just goes, son of a bitch, that hurt. I don't think I could take many more hits from that. As he decides to put his shield away, to not risk it, not let himself think that his arm can handle that much more pressure or power. As then he gets a congratulations screen. And what is this congratulating him? Defeating the bonus objective, the werewolf. Due to this, you will now gain bonus rewards upon completing the dungeon, but only upon completing the dungeon. As Naruto just says, fuck you, and continues on, now being a weapon short. As that's upon when he comes across a truly strange sight. A bit further in, he comes across a graveyard. And at this graveyard sits a big wolf. A very big and large pride wolf. Dire wolf. Don't know why I want to say pride. A very big and powerful dire wolf. As Naruto just says, shit. As it gets up and stands ready to fight him. Pardon me a moment. Getting ready to lunge towards him, Naruto holds his hand up, ready to counter any move that it may make. And then it proceeds to charge, dead at him, which he does what any normal person would do. He gets the hell out the way of it. He gets the hell out of the way of it. Why? Because the only thing he has left are the bags of kunai and shuriken that he brought from his own world. As the wolf slams itself against another cemetery stone. As this time, Naruto brings out a couple of kunai, ready to do battle with the beast. As it gets up and raises himself for another lunge. But as he does so, Naruto throws kunai, a singular kunai, towards it, distracting it as it looks towards it. While it looks at the direction where the kunai flew, Naruto holds out his open hand saying, "Freezing Ray." And as well, and upon that, he hits the beast dead on. But it doesn't kill the beast, no. The cantrip only invigorates this beast more, makes it more angry, more hostile, as it just looks at Naruto in disbelief, as in, did you just really try that? At that point, Naruto shrugs his shoulders, saying, "Come on, man. I just fought your cousin. I just fought the female cousin of you that stood on two legs. You ain't really that intimidating in comparison. Not to mention, I'm kind of worn out. Could you just roll over and die already?" As the beast looks at him in a bit of a awkward way, tilting its head slightly to the left and right, almost as if confused, as if he understood what Naruto was saying. And then he proceeds to walk away. Wait, what? As Naruto follows him, and then he sees it. A stone, a tombstone of a woman. And it reads, "Here rests Liliana, adventurer born and bred, powerful yet cunning, always adventurous at heart. She died as she lived, brutally." Wow, that kind of sucks. As he sees claw marks etched into the stone, going, "What the hell?" As he gets a notification. "Dungeon level has increased by 2. Do you wish to continue?" What? Dungeon level has increased from CR3 to CR5. Do you wish to continue? As Naruto stands up, going, "What the hell is going on here? What is this? What's the name of the dungeon?" Dungeon level. Dungeon has been. Dungeon name has changed. Been altered. No longer Dire Wolf Den. Is now Walk of the Rights. Walk of the Rights. What the hell is a right? And why is it wait. Rights. Do you mean right turns, as he sees it on the screen? WRIT. WRIGHT. Right? Right. What's a right? Right. I don't know what this is, but I'm weaponless right now. As he looks towards the creature. Access GM Shop. Accessing GM Shop. What do you wish to purchase? As he begins to look through it, going, that's costly, but I'll need it. Silvered longsword has been purchased. As it falls into his hands, sheath and all. This ornate, beautiful looking blade. As he grabs it, he realizes it's heavier than his older one by far, feeling as if it weighs an extra half pound. As he pulls it out and sees the glimmering shine on it, he goes, "Wow, that looks beautiful." Giving it a few practice spins and twirls. As he goes, "All right, I think I can work with this. Plus, if I come across any more of those werewolves, this thing will give me a distinct advantage against them. Or any undead. At least I think that's what it was called in there. Undead. Undead. I thought death was the end. Apparently you can be undead? What the hell type of logic is that?" As he begins walking forward. But as he does so, the direwolf begins to nip at his heels, going, "What the hell? I thought you were on my side," as it turns to him and tilts its head. "Oh. Oh. What?" As it walks next to him. "Oh. Oh. Oh. You want to go with me?" Optional companion added. Do you wish to have Boudreaux added to your party? Boudreaux? Is that your name? Oh. Yes. Very well. Adding direwolf pet Boudreaux to your party. As he then sees Boudreaux's stats as well as his health pool appear right below his as he goes, "Wow. That'll be useful." And so they charge further in. But as they do, Naruto sees something quite unsettling. Zombies shambling around as he goes, "Ah, crap. Alright, let's see if this'll do something. Ray of Frost!" As it impacts the zombie and it barely has any effect as he goes, "What the hell?" As Boudreaux lunges forward, biting into it, ripping its head off and slamming it onto the ground, crushing the skull within his teeth, within his maw as he goes, "You know, I'm kind of glad I didn't piss you off now." Goes, "But why didn't that work? It usually..." As he thinks, "They're undead. Why would cold hurt them?" As then he begins to think, "God, I can change this. Okay. Come here, boy." As Boudreaux gets closer to him. We need to rest here for a little bit of while. Let me regain a little bit of strength, okay?" As the dog just goes, as he digs his blade into the dirt and goes, "Okay. Pull up spell list." As he does so, he looks through all the cantrips he goes and is about to get Firebolt again when then he notices something right below it, or rather I should say above it in the alphabetical order. Chill Touch. He goes, "What the hell? What the hell is that?" No, fire. Fire beats death. They can't move if they don't have any muscles to move. Or something like that. Right? As he picks Firebolt and gets ready for another move as he goes, "Okay, I got enough for one more burning hands if I need it." And then he realizes, oh shit. Boudreaux, do you know how to play fetch? Can you go grab my old sword? I need to do some training and I forgot something on it. Could you please grab it for me? As the dog tilts its head sideways with a slanted look in its eyes going, "Really, brah? Really? Do I look like I serve you?" He says, "Please." And then the dog begrudgingly takes off back into the woods. As Naruto takes his silvered sword and gives it a good spin, going, alright, let's see what I can do. He lets loose a firebolt, impacting one of the zombies' faces as it burns and turns to nothing. As he comes to one of the skeletons, raising his sword up, cleaving it in two, causing it to, well, fall apart. As he says, oh, this is gonna be fun. As he gets ready and faces off against more and more of them as they approach, blasting off a volley of firebolts when he gets the opportunity. Each time, though, with each bolt, they get closer and closer to him as he begins to get tired. Tired of channeling the magic, forcing himself to use his blade to try and conserve what strength he has, up until he hears the telltale woof as the dog lunges forward, collapsing onto, well, I should say, pouncing onto one of the zombies, knocking it down and crushing its skull with the sheer massive weight of its frame, impacting in between its foot and the ground. Within Boudreaux's maw, he holds the hilt of his old sword as he says, "Thank you," as he quickly takes off the ruby, the War Master's ruby, and places it at the crest of his new blade. As he says, now we can get down to business. As his blade begins to ignite with a burning light yet again, launching another firebolt at the enemies, slashing and dashing forward, piercing their hides, as he flourishes, using both hands on the longsword's grip, increasing the power exponentially, as he carves and hacks his way through it up until he finds, well, another clearing. Except this time, there's a monument. As he goes, what the hell is that? As he gets closer to it, he realizes that the monument is shaking. And what pops out is this zombified creature with pale, gangly skin, wielding a sword, revealing this hideous monster, fully clad in armor, as it charges its way towards Naruto, him blocking the weight of the sword coming down upon him, going, what the hell? This thing is stronger than it appears. As he's forced to pivot his whole body to make the blade fall forwards. As he then twists the sword and and does a full spiral slash. But before he can even make the spiral halfway around, the right slams into him with his shoulder, knocking him down and away 5 feet, as it gets ready to bring the blade down upon our hero, our Eldritch Knight. Boudreaux intercepts, taking the blow, as he hollers and yelps in pain, falling down to the side as he is thrown off the blade. Naruto, seeing red, as he's able to use the momentum of his rage, as well as Boudreaux's time-saving sacrifice, to swing his sword around, parrying the zombified creature, as he swings up and back down from the prone position onto it, clanging off his armor as he rolls, pivots, and lunges his way back to his feet, doing a flourish, grabbing the sword with both hands, as the zombie, the right, begins to look him dead in the eyes. The eyes of a former living man, looking the eyes of a currently living man. And they don't flinch as the right charges forward, bloodthirsty and hungry for flesh. As Naruto prepares to intercept, as soon as he gets close, firebolt, dead center mass, impacting the creature, burning and singeing at the armor, causing it to lose concentration on the attack, moving its arm. And that's all the opportunity Naruto needed. For as he does so, he spins, taking his blade, and with full momentum, full power, full force, swings it down and cleaves the monster in twine. And to make sure, he spins the blade, backhanding it, taking it to where the blade is facing downwards. With both hands, he strikes the skull, piercing straight through as he goes. Burning hands, incinerating the skull, and what's left of the creature, leaving behind its weapons and armor. As Naruto quickly rushes over to Boudreaux. But Boudreaux is dead. Boudreaux has now joined its master. As upon that monument, Naruto's eyes filled with grief and sadness at his short-time-lived compatriot. He sees him, the spectral form of both his master, and Boudreaux. As he smiles, it says, "I'm sorry I couldn't save you." As the woman speaks, "It's fine. He was a stubborn bastard anyways. You wouldn't have been happy until you joined me, isn't that right?" "I'm glad I could reunite you both. In that case, don't worry. Depending on how things may go, you may join us here soon enough." "What do you mean?" "Well, simple. The life of all adventurers ends eventually in death. You either die a hero, or live long enough to become the villain. That's the fate of all of us. Well, I'm going to change that fate. Starting now. Well, do your best, adventurer." As she disperses, followed by Boudreaux loudly, and then falling behind her. As Naruto just smiles. "You know, she looked an awful lot like the werewolf chick. I wonder if maybe she wasn't actually dead. Maybe, just maybe, she wound up being cursed. Hey, that'd be a treat, wouldn't it?" As in, then he realizes his experience bar is nearly full. Yep, he's still level 5. As he goes, "Son of a bitch! I nearly died and I didn't even get a level up! You bastard! At least tell me I came away with something." As upon him leaving the dungeon, or getting the prompt to leave the dungeon, then leaving the dungeon, he goes, "Finally," as the loot has been tallied. And boy oh boy, did he find some fun stuff. As the first things he comes across from, well, the rights was the Life Stealer Longsword. As he goes, "What the hell?" Upon striking an enemy with this forsaken blade, as their blood is drenched upon, as it soaks and is drenched in the blood of your enemies. You gain health equivalent to the amount of health you've drained from them. So he goes, what? That's both disgusting and kind of awesome. But I really don't want to have to rely on that. Seems like something you could get too easily caught up in. As he looks further forward, he goes, and that looks like the armor that I got from him as well. Well, that looks like the armor he was wearing as well. As it says, half plate of the blind martyr. As he looks upon that, he says, you know what? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. It may be good. I don't know. It just looks very, very cringy. Yeah, no, selling that. As soon as he sells it, he goes, okay, that was apparently magical, because that gave me a good amount of money. As his money just went from 500 to over 2,100, as he goes, I'll take it. As he looks through the rest of his loot, seeing furs and vials of werewolf blood. Werewolf blood. Upon giving this to an ally and or enemy, will give them the curse of lycanthropy, making it where their wounds will heal quicker. They will gain bestial strength of the lycan, and in turn, bestial strength of the werewolf, and in turn, risk losing complete control to that power. If they are strong, they will survive it. If not, the curse may take hold forever and turn them into a mindless beast. Well, I'm just gonna sell that as he realizes I can't sell this. The hell? Sell. Shop will not take cursed items. As we cut to, well, a few minutes later after his tirade. Okay, currently sitting at 2,700 gold. 2,700 gold from everything I've sold so far, including all the rusted, broken down plate and half plate and leather and chipped swords and all those hides and everything else. Okay, what's left? Oh. Well. I can take that. As he begins looking through the options, going, okay, what do I want to buy? You know what? It would probably do me well to have to try and get myself set up with something a bit more permanent than health potions. Maybe something that can heal me on the fly, or at least passively. Something that can keep me up even when I'm feeling down. As he looks through the listings and everything else, going, come on, come on. What is there? What can it be? What can it be? Ring of Regeneration. That sounds nice as he looks at the price tag. That doesn't sound nice, and quickly passes it over. Going, I gotta be more sparing with my money, but that did look pretty good. As he continues looking and looking, picking up a few odds and ends there and here, as his stomach begins to growl loudly as he goes, "Crap, I didn't eat anything. Oh, no wonder I'm pissy." And he sees something very, very interesting. A tiny pair of boots. And as he looks upon them, he sees the words, "Boots of spider climb allow you to walk along any surface as long as it is not smooth." As example, glass. "I'll take 'em." As that takes a good chunk of change out of his pocket, he goes, "I don't care," and immediately equips them on as he just walks along some walls and goes, "Okay, yep, this works. I'm now on the same level as everyone else. I no longer have to worry about not being able to climb on walls." Now the only problem is I have to figure out how to walk on water. So he goes, "Shit," and continues to look through everything. He goes, "What's this? Hand crossbow. Why the hell would I need a hand crossbow? I got magic." However, then again, nope, I have magic. No need. As he continues further through the list, "Come on, give me something here that is good. You know what? Screw it. I can pull this up at any time. I'm gonna go home. I already found something useful. A couple things that are useful, actually." As he examines the other blade now on his side, and he goes, "I could probably stand to go without food for another hour." As he removes the weapon bond from his shield, as he then takes out the Life Stealer longsword and holds it in his lap, and for that hour he concentrates upon it, despite his stomach ramblings and protests, as he places his eldritch symbol upon it, making it to where now he can call upon it at any time to his side. As he now laughs and puts it along his back, figuring he won't need it, but if he does, they'll never see him draw it. As he leaves and heads back home and gets right back to where he was before time stopped. And as the milk begins to pour again, he's back in his seat, ready to eat his cereal with a few more scars, a few more scratches, a few more cuts and scrapes. But more powerful nonetheless. This is your humble narrator, Diomedes Rouge, signing off.